Hey, what's going on? My name is Ben Sheppard and welcome back to RunThrough TV. Let's be honest, from time to time, a lack of motivation is something that we all suffer from. So I thought we'd get some tips from ultra endurance hero Luke Tyburski.
My top tips to keep runners motivated would be to create your own community. And you can do this really simply by getting a bunch of friends on some sort of messaging app and tell everyone that you're going to run at a certain time every week. And that morning you text message everyone. And before you run, you text message everyone as well. And then you go and do your run and you come back and you take a photo of when you finished and you share it with your community. So whether you can run actually with these people or you've just created some virtual community that you can become involved with, then you're constantly connecting with other runners and you're also chatting about what you saw and what you did on that run. And I feel to stay motivated for some runners, having that community, that real life interaction on the day that you run, before you run and after you run, can be extremely helpful. My second top tip for keeping runners motivated is to acknowledge your progress. So many people are looking to push their long run, to go faster, and they can become demotivated when they're not getting to where they want to go. But the best way to motivate you is to stop and acknowledge where you've come from and what you've already achieved. This should be enough to push you in the right direction, to increase your motivation so you can see what you have achieved and where you have come from when you started.
Let me be honest with you, okay? If you're a new runner, you are going to get bombarded with so much information. Barry down the pub, he's going to tell you one thing, your mate's going to tell you another thing. Just remember, it's not one size fits all. Here's Luke again.
So a couple of mistakes that I've made and the lessons that I've learned is that I realized over the years of being a runner that what works for someone else doesn't necessarily work for me. I've been given numerous training plans, diet and nutrition tips, and they simply did not work for me. Although we all want to get told, do this and that and I'll achieve a personal best, running and life in general is not that simple. You have to experiment and use yourself as a science experiment to figure out what works best for you. Listen to other people's advice, take it on board and test it out. But don't just think because what works for someone else is going to work for you.
Now, at this point, you might just be running to stay fit, but at some point, if you keep enjoying it, you might want to enter a race. If you do, I can recommend one of ours. I hope to see you at one very, very soon. When that day comes, here is some advice from Luke.
The number one tip that I always give to people who are entering a race is know why you want to enter that race. If you truly understand not just one level, but 2 or 3 levels of why you want to enter that specific race and the outcomes you're looking to achieve. If you know why and you create clarity in this why, then when the training gets tough and you become demotivated, then you can resort to actually going back and using this why as motivation, as energy. And as race day it comes, and you're pushing yourself past mile 4, mile 5, mile 6, however many miles in the distance that you're running. Resorting to thinking about this why and understanding the reasons you put yourself on the start line should be enough to push you to take one more step when it gets really tough. This is the best advice that I've been given and the first piece of advice that I give to anyone when they're thinking about entering a race. Know why you want to do it in the first place.
I mean, by this point in the video, I'm imagining you've probably guessed that Luke is, quite the fan of running. But why?
The reason I love running so much is because it enables me to connect with other people, but also allows me to connect with myself. Running is so communal. You can grab some friends and you can just go and run and chat. It's not something that you can't do where you can't do anything else. You can run and you can talk. You can run and you can eat. You can run and look at the surroundings. So it's a great way to engage and create more communities, increase your friends network, and just see beautiful places. So for me, running is all about creating a community. And the other side of it is it allows me to be by myself, to be in my own thoughts and connect to myself, to listen how my body is feeling, where my head's at for that day, and even to solve problems that I'm battling to find an answer for. So the reasons I love running are simply that. It allows me to connect to others, but also it allows me to connect with myself.
And lastly, I guess you're part of it if you're here. This is Luke telling us exactly why he thinks the running community is so special.
The running community is amazing for this reason. The running community understands the quirky lifestyle habits of other runners. It's as simple as that. We go to bed early on a Saturday night so we can get up on Sunday morning and run for hours. Lubrication is not a sexual word. It's something that helps you to stop chafing. Okay? The different nutritional requirements for a runner, we understand those things. And if we're simply going to quickly pop behind a bush, that's normal. So the reason I love the running community so much is because if you're a runner and you've been running with people for a period of time, you understand that there are all these quirky things that we have in our lifestyle, that we do in our daily lives, that we actually do on our runs, that as a runner, you think is normal. But to the general public, is so out there, you would not even say some of the things that we did around a dinner table. That's why I love the running community, because we're all quirky people and we all live quirky lives.
Big thank you to Luke for taking some time to answer those questions. Thank you to you, of course, for watching. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, please do click on the big red subscribe button that you can see below this video and give this video a thumbs up as well. It really helps us out. And I will see you again soon on RunThrough TV.